if you go into a government service building, you go to one counter and you can get service as a veteran, and all your things taken care of there. But there's also another office for veterans, staffed by a full-time person, that gets maybe 2 or 3 calls or needs addressed a day. But they still staff a full office and a full staff. Now, the pushback on that has been from the government, federal government's union, PSEC. They have to reduce the amount of offices open when one office will address all their concerns, veterans included, rather than duplicating a whole other, bureaucratic structure that isn't needed if you're only getting 2 or 3 calls a day. But that's one example of where there's reducing. But they've also noticed areas where there needs to be government initiative and expenditure in terms of giving taxes back. That does affect the bottom line. That affects, that's going to cost the government giving taxes back. And there's other areas where they need strengthening. Armed forces. The armed forces were woefully underfunded, and building up a budget for our northern gateway, our northern lands which need protection. The vast natural resources underneath it are contested by Russia, by many other nations. We have submarines planting flags on the ocean floor, but it's wildly unprotected. So that's a place where there has to be a government expenditure. The Tories aren't afraid of spending money, but they have to do it wisely and make sure it's paid for. So we will balance the budget this year. Rita and I are fiscal conservatives. When they balance the budget, we want to pay off our home. We want to show that people in our age bracket, they can live free of debt.
We have thrift store furniture.
That's why we have thrift store furniture, because we need.
We don't get out very much.
We don't.
This year, no.
That's right. We don't get out very much, but we need to show our generation, the 40-somethings, and the generation that Theo and Loretta are speaking of, and John, the generation underneath us, that there is a way to be free from debt, to balance your budget, but then also to begin to axe your deficit, to eliminate the deficit. If the Conservatives are allowed in for another term, and they must be allowed in, they will go after the deficit.